As a criminal defense attorney, I get asked all the time, what would I do if I was pulled over for drunk driving? So I thought I'd just do a video on it and explain what I would do if I was pulled over for drunk driving. So here we go. It reminds me of a mentor that I had a long time ago when I first started practicing criminal defense. He was a criminal lawyer. He was an alcoholic, but he'd been sober for I think 27 years or 28 years at the time of his death. When he got pulled over back in the day for drunk driving, he had his proof of insurance, registration, and driver's license all paper clipped together, and he would hand that to the officer. So I think that's a good lesson. Paper clip at least your proof of insurance and your registration together and keep it in the glove compartment. So it's just easy to get, because a lot of times that's the first clue. They pull you over after they say you're speeding or missed a turn, rolling stop, or weaving within your lane, whatever, and you're fumbling to try and find your proof of insurance registration. You hand them an expired proof, and so there's the first sign of intoxication. They couldn't get it together enough to get me the actual documents that matter. So that's one thing that I would do. Keep those things current, keep them paper clipped together, you know where they are, so you're smooth. Here you go. Second, all right, I've been driving and I've had a couple of cocktails. I'm probably on the edge of 0.08, 0.09 something. I should not be driving, but I am. I get pulled over. The officer comes, I give them the proof of insurance, driver's license, registration, and they say, oh, you smell like alcohol. How much have you been drinking, Mr. Hills? And I would say, you know, you pulled me over for speeding. I'm not going to answer any other questions. You want to give me a ticket for speeding? That's fine. Silence. Let them fill the air. But your response is, I'm not going to answer your questions. I don't have to. And you don't. You don't have to answer those questions. And so then the next progression is, Mr. Hills, get out of the car. I smell intoxicants on your breath and in your car or whatever. And you've been weaving inside your lane, or you rolled through that stop sign, whatever. Get out. Then they're going to take you to the back of the car, the front of the car, somewhere where you're going to be seen on the dash cam and also on the body cam. And the next thing they're going to do is they're going to ask you to do the standard field sobriety tests. The standard ones are the horizontal eye nystagmus test, the walk and turn, and the one-legged stand. So these are standardized tests, and I would say to that, no thank you. Again, silence, and the officer is going to be like, oh, well, all I'm trying to do is make sure you're good to go home. I just want to see that you're going to be okay, and we can get this and get you back in the car and get you on your way. Yeah, no thank you. Because, you know, I'm stone sober right now, and I put up this leg, and if I wobble, oh, you wobbled? Oh, okay, you didn't hold your foot 12 inches off the ground. It was more like just on. Oh, and you stumbled and you touched your foot. You're drunk. You're intoxicated. Signs of intoxication. These are clues of intoxication. And then they do the horizontal eye nystagmus test to look for nystagmus. And we can't see this right in the dash cam or the body cam. You can't see the jumping of the eye or the smooth pursuit. On the walk and turn, oh, he didn't have his heel touching his toe on this one and that one, clues. So I just say no. Now, there's no consequence for that, adverse consequence for that. There's no fine. It's not a crime. You're not disobeying a lawful order. You're not going to get in trouble for resisting and obstructing if you don't do the standard field sobriety test. You say, no, thank you, I'm not going to do those. Okay? So then the natural progression then is the handheld PBT, preliminary breath test. This is on the roadside. This is different than a chemical test which is given at the jail or a blood test at the hospital. So we're still on the side of the road. You haven't given a statement about drinking. I have not done their standard field sobriety tests, and now they're asking me to do the PBT. Now I am going to refuse the PBT. I'm going to say, no thank you, I'm not going to blow in your machine. That's it. Well, we just want to see if you're okay to go home. Well, we just, you know, and if you've had, you know, a few beers, craft beers, if you've had a few cocktails, you're probably over 0.08. Okay, so I'm just going to say, no thank you, because the PBT is probably going to read 0.08 or above, and off you go. Right? And There are consequences for that. If you don't take the PBT, it's a fine. I don't know off the top of my head, $100, $140, something like that. If it was me, I would take the fine. Because for a lot of legal reasons, I would not take that test. Do they now have probable cause that you're drinking and driving? Are you over the limit? Are you impaired? Can they take, you may have legal arguments later in court, but if you take that and you're 0.08, a 0.09 or higher, I mean, you lose that opportunity to challenge. So then the next thing they're going to do is they're going to arrest you for drunk driving. Maybe you can challenge that later, maybe not, but that's probably the next thing that's going to happen. And then you're going downtown to either the Intoxilizer 9000, which is a box like yay big, and you blow into the machine, or they take you to the hospital and they do a blood draw. Now, I would take those. That's the big distinction here. We're talking about a vanilla drunk driving, nobody's hurt, this is my first offense. There may be other situations where I would refuse this, but in this scenario, I would consent to taking either the breath test at the jail or the blood draw at the hospital. So the reason that I would do the chemical test, the reason I would take the breath test at the jail or the blood test at the hospital is because the driver's license consequences are going to be worse if you refuse, generally speaking, than if you get convicted of the drunk driving. So if you have a refusal and the officer, he sends what's called an officer's report of refusal to the Secretary of State, and that triggers an implied consent refusal. And the Secretary of State is going to take action against your driver's license. They're going to assess 6 points on your record, and they're going to suspend your driving privileges for 1 year. Now, you have a right to contest that, and that's a whole separate thing, whole separate video. But be that as it may, I would take the test to avoid those consequences. And that's what I would do. If I'm over 0.08, they're going to hold me, and I'm going to have to deal with the drunk driving. But I have given myself an opportunity through the whole situation to fight the case. So if you do the standard field sobriety test and you're wobbly and it's on the video, that's going to be held against you. If you're walk and turn and it's not good, that's going to be held against you. Now the other flip side of that is, well, maybe you do spectacular on all of them. Well, in my experience, they can always find clues and use it against you. So that's why I would not. So my first advice is don't drink and drive. Let's be clear. But if you do, that's how I would roll through a standard drunk driving stop. So I hope you don't get pulled over for drunk driving, but if you do, give us a call. This is what we do every day. Thanks.